Hi everyone, welcome back to the CGC podcast. In this final episode, we had a few technical errors, apologies. But we're happy. How do you feel so far? Energy's good?
Yes.
Okay.
At least we have rehearsal.
We had a short 15-minute rehearsal.
Shot sendiri ya.
Pun boleh.
Boleh. Hopefully everyone boleh dengar audio kita kali ni. Alright, okay. So for today, we'll be talking about the topic of creating an inclusive workplace. As we showed previously in the video, we menunjukkan CGC punya treasure hunt video from last year as one of CGC's punya efforts lah to create an inclusive environment, to celebrate everyone's diversity, to celebrate the hard work that everyone has been doing in the past year. So then let's basically jump right into it. With me, I've got a wonderful panel of guests with me today. To my right, I've got Dr. Nurul. Hi, Dr. Nurul. Welcome to the show again.
Hi. I'm so excited still.
Yes. Energy is still good. Okay. Casey, welcome to the show.
Hello, I'm honored to be here today. Thank you.
Karen, welcome to the show as well.
Hi, good morning all. Happy to see all of you.
Yes. And also Puan Sharifah, welcome to the show.
Hi everyone, it's you.
All right, so before we dive into the topic of creating an inclusive workplace, let's get to know our guests a little bit more about them today. Maybe you guys can share with me maybe a little bit about yourselves, maybe roughly your background, how long you've been in CGC, and maybe one interesting fact about yourselves.
Okay, let me start first. Okay, I am Sharifah, the head of branch and JLC management. I have been working with CGC for 8 years now. In totaling, I have experience about 28 years in the industry. Okay, and then before I started my career, I was the temporary teacher for the Chinese high school in one of the Chinese high school. Before I being offered as a branch officer. Okay, and now I am proud to say that I'm leading 16 CGC branches across Malaysia. Okay, and on personal note, I am a mother of 3 lovely daughters. Okay, my passionate about outdoor activities. Okay, I love riding, I love traveling, hiking and camping. And also I cat lovers also as well. I have two cats actually. If kat situ you boleh nampak ada apa? Ada taman.
Lembut hati.
Lembut hati lembut hati
yes.
sebab orang yang suka pecinta kucing, dia sangat lembut hati.
Dia tidak pernah marah ya?
Walaupun nampak ganas, dalam hati ada taman. Okay?
Ada kucing.
Dalam hati ada kucing. Yes. Okay, that's all about meow meow. That's all about me. Thank you.
So cat lover, right? So you've got 2 cats, and how close are you with them? Manjakan diorang.
Memang sangat. I can tell you, every morning memang this will be my routine ya. Sebelum I keluar, normally my kucing akan tunggu depan pintu, Dia akan tunggu depan pintu dan dia macam tak nak keluar daripada rumah because dia akan, I tak boleh tinggal dekat dalam, because dia memang tak biasa tinggal dalam, so I have to let them out. And before I let them out, then I will say to them, Umi nak keluar kerja. Dia lah macam anak lah. Dah macam anak kan. Umi nak keluar kerja. So you all be careful dekat luar. So bila I balik nanti you tunggu depan pintu. Yes, every day is like that.
And they do?
Yes. Yes. So kalau I balik kereta, I tak nampak dia lari and kejar I macam curious. Mana mereka. So tapi normally they will come back.
That's lovely. Thank you, Puan Sharifah, for your introduction. Karen, how about you?
Hi everyone, my name is Karine. This is my 9 years employment with CGC. So prior to joining CGC, I also has been working in banking sector. So nothing new, and I'm the head of financial institutions. So what my role will be managing the business development and also relationship with all the conventional FIs. I enjoy talking to people and surrounding with people as well. So outside of work, I'm a mother of 3, like Puan Sharifah, with 3 amazing kids. So I always live with a motto, happy mother, happy kids.
So the mother needs to be happy first, and then the kids will live a peaceful life.
Yes,
lah.
correct.
Father also happy.
For you also.
Father definitely have to follow.
Father must make sure happy wife, ma.
Yes,
Happy wife, happy
wife, happy life, and longer life as well.
Yes.
Prosperity.
So I enjoy shopping. I think shopping is part of my exercise.
Your cardio lah.
Yeah, my cardio, yes. And food, I enjoy food. So the people who knows me, I will always think ahead, what's next, whether my tea break or whether my next meal while I'm having my current one.
So you think about what you're gonna eat next while you're eating your current meal.
Correct. And I feel stressed if the food is not there.
Okay. Do you crave different things for every meal, or do you take kisah?
Normally I take salty food, really heavy meal. I don't prefer those like cakes, bread and all that. So a bit hard to make decision while you're having a heavy one and you have to think of what's the next.
So having pan mi and this nasi lemak kot. Or like roti canai or something like that kan.
Correct.
I feel like I can relate to you in that sense lah. Sometimes I'm also craving, as I'm eating nasi lemak, tiba-tiba nak sushi lah, tiba nak canai lah. It's a difficult problem to have.
Good problem.
Good problem to have. Alright, thank you Karen and welcome to the show. Kisi, how about you?
Yeah. A shout out to IT division. I love my team. Okay. My name is Casey. I'm the head of IT infrastructure team. I'm currently leading a dedicated team that provides support for the operational and also the enhancement for IT infrastructure technology. So I've been with CGC for 5 years now. So prior joining CGC, I have experience in different sectors such as education, telco, manufacturing, and also oil and gas.
Quite a varied background.
Yes, but
Multiple
I've been
industries.
holding different roles throughout my IT career. So outside from work, I'm actually a sportman, yeah, and I am actually also a koi fish lover.
Koi fish lover.
Yes. I'm also a father of 3. I cherish every moment I spend with them together. So I personally also is a believer of work hard, play harder lifestyle. So that's how I actually prioritize my profession, my personal goals, and also my family time. So maybe I also want to share some fun fact. My wife used to tell me that my fish actually has a better meal compared to me.
Oh, why is that?
So on average, we as human, we only eat like 3 to 4 times daily. Maybe you all can have a wild guess. How many times actually I feed my koi fish daily?
10 times?
I think double lah, 7 or 8 times.
I'd say 7 as well.
Yes.
Actually, I feed my koi fish 12 times.
Better become a fish.
Yes.
Change profession. Correct.
That's how actually I'm able to groom my koi fish to reach 70 cm on average. Yeah, the biggest I have is actually 78 cm. So my goal basically to achieve 1 meter.
And do you weigh the koi fish? Is that,
No, I don't weigh,
measure
but
the
the weight should be about 6 kilo.
I really like seeing people who are really passionate about what they're doing, like very niche.
Yeah.
hobbies. So you need to know all about how to take care of
Correct.
koi fish. It needs to be in the right temperature, the right alkalinity,
Betul.
pH semua kena betul.
Yeah. To be in this hobby, first of all, you need to have the passion. Passion is very important. Also discipline. Else, things may not go as per
Your
what
work
you-
hard, play hard comes in lah.
Correct.
Play hard, jaga your koi fish elok.
Yes.
Right, thank you for that. And last but not least, Dr. Nurul, welcome to the show.
You can also become a mermaid if you want to. I'm kidding. Okay, I'm excited, superly excited because just now we have like a trial and error, like a 15 minutes rehearsal. But at least now build up more confidence. Hi, to my all HRMA team and TDE team, I'm so excited today. Of course, there's a lot of things that we want to talk humbly. We may not know everything, but I think this is an opportunity. And let me introduce myself. I'm the head of talent development and engagement. This is coming to my 6 years in CGC. I'm so excited. The organizations that I actually joined during my birthday is very, very instrumental. I've been given opportunity to be in 2 different divisions. And I think now I'm with HR. And I think the 3 things that I'm really passionate about doing now, which is currently also my portfolio, First is overseeing at learning and development, nurturing high potential talent, ensuring that they have enough support to become future leader. And the third one is ensuring our activities on engagement activities highly supported the mission and visions of the organizations. And I think aside of this, on my personal note, I'm actually enjoying a lot of things. Without telling, I am a very curious person. Most of the time, I will find information, sort of like not FBI, but learning is something that is not only happen in a formal way. It could be informal. While we're talking, we are also learning. In terms of managing my lifestyle to be active and continuously build up my endurance, I slowly venture into running and also golf. Golf we did together with the family. I think the two boys are actually showing some interest. My husband is hardcore player, and we are also picking up a lot of things from him. And other than that, I don't know, everything around me make me excited. Looking at people, how they dress up, how they actually show up every day, something that I passionate about.
Very
So you're naturally a curious person by nature lah. I
Yeah.
was curious and what's this fashion Puan Sharifah, fashion dia
Yeah.
cantik
Yeah.
je.
Ya, yang di dalam hati ada kucing tu, begitu juga. Begitu juga diriku. I have 5 cats. I enjoy cats very much. Now they actually eaten up like I know every month I have to work hard to feed the cat. But not 12 times lah, but okay, slowly learning about them, and I think this is also help you to channel some of your sharing your whatever happening to you during the day by talking with the cat. I think they also understand without telling lah. They look at you and nodding, and slowly they understand. Yup.
Jadi emotional support.
Exactly.
Emotional support animal.
Mm.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Dr. Nur, for the introduction. So we have a varied background here, but I think we all are excited to talk about today's topic, about creating an inclusive workplace. So let's dive right in. What do we mean by creating an inclusive workplace? What does it mean talking about creating a positive environment at work? Anybody would like to start first?
I would like to start first. I think when we talk about the inclusive workplace, it much related to the environment that we are creating. Okay, so what we need to look into is what are the components actually contribute to the inclusive workplace. In terms of the diversity, in terms of the equity, and also inclusivity. These are the 3 things. But in our team, we do have a different staff with a different background, different age. They are the Gen Y, Z, and we also have people that are different race in terms of kita ada Indian, Chinese, Malay. We have Iban, we have Kadazan. So these are also one of the components in terms of diversity. So next is on the equity, how everyone feeling the fairness when they are sharing the all the equipments, that kind of thing, equity, and also inclusive. That is the positive environment. So I always visualize this positive environment like a good movie. Macam mana you nak produce good movie? When you want to produce a good movie, you need to have the producer with the budget. You need to have the director with a very good skill. You need to have the actor. You need to have the actress. Okay, and then you need to also to have a very good support team, which is the audio man, which is the cameraman, even the makeup artist also play a very important role. So I think when we talk about the positive environment, how we can able to build that kind of environment. So because kalau kita fail to do that, whatever we invest, it will be like nothing, no impact. Okay, so when we are look into that, there are 2 areas that we are looking into: the tangible and non-tangible. Tangible ni like what? The workplace itself, workstation, the support system, But when we talk about intangible, it's more on the interpersonal skill, how the leader play their role, and how the staff, the team member also need to play their role also as well to make it happen. Okay, so without that, I think orang kata macam kalau tepuk sebelah tangan tak berbunyi. Kan kena tepuk dua-dua tangan kan. Kena tepuk dua-dua tangan barulah you can make the sound. Sama ada sound to slow or kuat, you know. It depend to how happy you are. Betul? Okay, so I always relate in terms of how you want to create a positive environment like a filmmaker. Okay, sebab kita adalah the player, the actor and the actress. Okay.
Oh, I love that analogy talking about it's not just so creating inclusivity is not just siloed to just one team. It's a whole organization. It's everyone's effort coming together, like creating a movie, like you mentioned. And I love how you touched about creating an inclusive environment. Is not just about the things you see. It's also about the things you don't see. You can have all the tools. You can have all the tools to support an inclusive environment, but if there's animosity between the team, if there's grudges or like there's toxicity within the team, then that's not a positive place to be in, and it won't be inclusive anymore.
Yes.
So thank you for shedding light on that. Yeah.
I think on top of what Sharifah has been shared, an inclusive workplace can be an environment where the synergy of collaboration from everybody. So everyone has to feel happy first thing first and motivated to work. So the word sense of belonging. I think we have been spending most of our time, I mean, besides at home, I think we have spending more than the timing, 8 hours we spend in the workplace. So this is very important for us to feel the sense of belonging whereby we are motivated to work rather than dragging ourselves to work. So I think to keep that, so the surrounding must be supportive enough. Okay, it must be feeling safe and feeling secure, whereby be it when you are here, feeling wise, like I mentioned, you need to be happy, feeling secure, and then work wise, you have to be supportive, that you are empowered to do something, and you have a supportive management to support the things that you are going to do. So all these are very important to create the inclusive environment, be it internal, the feelings, and also external, the environment that support each individual from not dragging to work. So I think to personally for me, like Monday, normally we will have Monday blue. So how to keep myself happy is I'll try to avoid those dull color of work attire, working attire, especially like grey, blue or black. So maybe we can suggest to HR that Monday no blue work attire.
So pakai garang-garang sikit.
And do not wear orange because Garfield hate Monday.
Yeah.
The bright colors like
Yes, to
pink,
cheer up the day,
yeah.
cheer up the
It
week.
can
I
bring up
think
your moods.
correct. It's very important.
Karen, I like you've touched about, I think it elaborated on Puan Sharifah's point on intangible elements of creating an inclusive environment. Internally, externally, you need to feel good, and also their surrounding needs to be great in order to foster a collaborative environment, hence creating a positive workplace. I like how we're like bouncing off of each other. I think it's just, I like the flow where this is going. Thank you.
Yeah, I will echo what Corinne has mentioned earlier. My ideal positive workplace is basically where staff feel happy and they feel motivated. So for me, a positive workplace environment, staff should have the freedom to speak. Their work will feel meaningful, right? They have a mutual respect between the peers, and also most important, they will actually take challenge as an opportunity. So for me, this can be formed through collaboration or synergy that we build up in the team. So collaboration itself is basically, it can lead to a fantastic result. Things that you may never able to achieve if you are working on silo. Right. I also want to share an example for let's say there is a staff who is facing issue and he do not know how to resolve it, right? Furthermore, he also do not know who to seek guidance, who to seek assistance. This particular staff, most likely he is working in the not so positive workplace environment.
Because they feel like they need to bear it all alone.
Correct.
So I guess then creating a positive workplace is not sharing the burden, but kind of working
Teamwork,
together lah.
correct.
Working together. And also echoing what Karen said on creating a safe space so that you don't feel like you're dragging your feet to work.
Yes.
Feeling that you are celebrated at work, so you can give your very best, like what you mentioned.
Correct.
Correct. I always also like to, narrate this, of which as an individual, when we define the positive or inclusive workplace, is three things. Number one, you feel you are valued. You know, when you feel you are valued, you tend to give more, because this is going beyond perks and compensations or salary and whatnot, because you feel valued. So whenever you suggest new idea, of course there will be give and take, but most of the time you have like a win-win situations where probably they don't take 100%, probably they take 50 or 30%, something that work within your respective area. Number two, you should actually feel safe, as what mentioned just now. It goes beyond the infra. You know, you have psychological safety, of which if this is something your leader has given to you, you know, that you are not afraid of saying things which is not right. You know, some people just, you know, because my boss tell me this, I should just follow, although it is not really right. You know, if there are opportunity to be corrected as a leader, I think we should stand humble to say that we do not know everything. You know, sometimes staff know, because they are doing operations thing, they see things at the ground. So probably this is something that we should embrace more. And the third one is, this is the place that I want to grow. So grow means is go beyond promotions, upgrading and whatnot. Opportunity that been given by the organisation or the immediate supervisor to enable a person to grow. You know, grow can be horizontally, can be vertical and whatnot. So this is something that I think if you have these three things, ultimately we are looking at high performing culture. And when we talk about high performing culture, I think a study from Harvard saying that if people are really engaged, where the organisation invests in the well-being of the individuals, more than 59% of the employee will be happy, and they probably will retain. You know,
That's about 2/3, huh?
Exactly. So this is something that we will think along while we're having this discussion, and hope that we have people who joining us online to also chip in, you know, and give your views on this. We might not knowing everything, right?
Correct. Yes.
So you mentioned trust, psychological safety, as well as room to grow.
Exactly.
So those three things kind of make up a positive work environment.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you for sharing that. So now that we've kind of covered a little bit on what constitutes as a positive work environment, what are the challenges in actually creating that positive environment? We've talked about psychological safety. We've talked about inner and outer feelings of you want to work. You don't feel like you're dragging your feet to work. But how do we then kind of, what are the challenges in trying to like realize that into actionable outcomes? What are the challenges that we face?
I would like to say two things. One is expectations given by us probably as a leader, or probably, you know, the expectation of the job. Number two is trust. So trust is very important, of which you enable or empower someone to perform the job. Because at first place, I relate to my experience, of which 3 years ago I was being given opportunity to be in HR. So with a zero background on HR, but probably because I have a capacity building kind of skills or knowledge that I have previously, it enabled me to, you know, to understand how it works. But I've never been in HR. But because of the opportunity given to my from my immediate supervisor and heads of division at that point of time, I am now who I am. I think there are a lot of things that I should applaud the team. We have done a lot of changes and driving learning as not before. So I would also want to thank you, CHRO, our People's Leader Gold Award this year. You know, because of him, I think the team also, not my team only, the HR team are empowered to do a lot of things. So empowerment, trust comes together. Yep.
Trust come together. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Maybe I'll be next. So I also want to share one of the challenges that I can think of basically is on the communications. So sometimes poor communication can result in, you know, misinformations. So information is not correctly cascaded down from top bottom. So it also will be resulted in the staff getting lost, and then in high chances that they were not able to achieve the outcome that they actually desire. So I personally, I'm a believer in like doing progressive updates. So I constantly provide updates to my team member, and actually I'm expected vice versa. They also need to provide updates to me on periodically. So in terms by using progressive updates, basically it will help it will eliminate or reduce the the lengthy meetings. So those things actually can be substitute with maybe those early morning 10-minute stand up meetings, or sometimes it can be through the emails or even Microsoft Teams.
It's like a check-in,
Correct.
like a progress update. I
Correct.
guess that then resonates with Dr. Nurul's point on trust. The more you communicate with each other, you create that trust. Oh, okay, I know that I've got your back and you've got my back as well.
Correct. Then also one more thing that I want to share is, as a staff, we should not work based on assumption. So if you assume, in likelihood it will terbalik, things will go haywire. So if there is uncertainty, we should always seek for clarification to get the answer that we want.
As Puan Sharifah mentioned,
Hilang dah.
regarding as Puan Sharifah mentioned, one of the challenges about creating a positive environment, especially managing 16 branches, is I guess the method of communication and trying to get everyone to feel connected, even though we are tuning in virtually. Do you wanna?
Yeah.
elaborate on that?
Okay. As what I mentioned just now, the experience of managing or communicating with 16 branches remotely is a different experience.
I can't imagine how
Yeah.
that would be to make everyone feel included
Yes.
online at 16
Yeah.
branches with different cultures.
Yeah, we need to get them to stream, to align with what we communicate on the guidelines, on the process, on our objective. It's not going to be easy. It's not easy at all, actually. Okay, but then thanks to the technology, I can say that currently we have our teams whereby I can always talk to my team except when I want, or kalau let's say for example that we want to meet the whole team also, we can bring them in. It's a different experience lah. Kalau nak ikutkan dulu before the MCO, how actually we communicate lagi susah sebenarnya. So where we need to get IT to help us, to set up the TVs, the screen, and then to give us the code number where
Betul ke,
everything
Casey? Kena dial
need to dial in.
Code, TV semua.
Yes, we used to have the legacy setup.
Yes. Susah kan, leceh sikit kan masa tu kan, like everyone macam duduk dekat satu bilik, tengok TV macam tu, is something like that lah, yeah. Okay, and then I think thanks to MCO also, because what are the benefit that we encounter is that the improvement in terms of technology, where the Zooms, the Teams comes in, so make it our job much more easier.
More
Even we
seamless.
have to manage the branch remotely. So it's not easy, but then I think everyone have to have the common ground lah. They have to understand that okay, there are from at HQ side, they have to communicate, they need to know their roles also. It will not be a limitation for them to addressing any issues, any feedback. By right, it shouldn't be any issue lah kan. So that will be my issue and challenges lah actually.
Yeah, I also want to top up something on top of Sharifah is we at IT, basically we also play an important part in promoting the positive workplace environment. So we have introduced quite a number of solutions, like for example Teams, that actually is the collaboration within the team member. So then we also have notebooks provided to all the staff. So basically they can have a work-life balance. They can basically with the notebook they can work basically anywhere.
You can work remotely.
Correct.
I didn't realize how much technology really can foster in a positive environment until you actually have to manage 16 branches across the nation. Thinking back, actually, you need to be able to have good support system,
Right, yes.
external support system, infrastructure, like what Dr. Nurul mentioned, in order to foster that environment. Kalau tak, we work remotely, susah nak connect dengan boss. How do we then that spirit and that culture is gone? Okay, so I guess we've discussed some challenges about creating a positive work environment. I'm curious, what conflicts have there been maybe in terms of trying to make a positive work environment? Any conflicts, if there any? We talked about challenges. I guess then maybe what are the conflicts that you have encountered? Maybe are the disagreements that you've had between the team in trying to foster a good working environment?
I would prefer to talk on this in general. Because I think everybody come to work with a mission to get things done. That's why you actually enter into a job market. If not, you are doing business somewhere. Because of your skills, because of your specialty, you come and join the organizations. But along the way, there will be a project, be it a big project or small project that you have to undertake. You will see a lot of people with different character, background, and etc. Some people who are very technical sound, they will speak like a technical expert in the area of where their project are. When I speak to IT was very, very IT centered. When we talk to HR people, very employee centered. When we talk to business people, very business centered. But when it comes to project, when we put everyone together, this is where you can look at the diversities of the background. There will be also people in the project, not specifically showing or pointing to anyone. They are very vocal. They are very dominant. They, every time I say, you must listen to me. There are also people who are very good in stakeholder relations. I say this, they can manage the bosses. They can manage, but when it comes to work, they get people to manage them. So
Some different strengths for different people.
some people say, I don't care. I just want to get things done, because they are very technical sound. So those are things that when we basically get into a project, that's where the conflict starts lah.
Yes.
When you are going to area which is, I would say, uncharted area, that it is actually beyond the scope of every day. You be uncomfortable to get to know new things, get to agree on disagreement and things like that. Yeah. So I think that's a challenge when there are projects. Yeah.
I think besides the diversity of people from the background, expertise, experience that everyone has, the conflict here is managing expectations. Dala already diversified. And then everyone come with different expectations to get things done. So when all these things come in, and then everyone just want to get their things done, that's why the conflicts, and it can be a huge conflict if we do not come into an alignment towards the same objective or goals. So that is very important, that somebody has to be there, or everyone has to be agreed to mediate that this we have to go towards common goal, or else it will
Common mission.
yes common mission. Then everyone will be focused. Put aside of everyone's expectation, we just want to get this thing done, and how can everyone collaborate and support each other on that.
But sometimes I just want to add on this, especially when we are in project, although we hear people say, this is a professional, nothing personal and things like that. We have to remember, we are all human, Yeah. Honestly, they are in a previous project, I also cried, because sometimes, the person can talk better, but the way he actually or she convey the message was like straight away macam tikam ni, mati menangis, So they are also required you to acquire certain skills, how to talk mellowly, but the point come straight. But I think I learned from leaders also. Our senior management team are very good in tackling this. Sometimes it's a very huge problem, but the way they talk, sometimes, we feel that it is still manageable lah. So I have to applaud them for the skills that I still need to learn about how to speak, not direct, but straight to the point.
For me, when dealing with conflict, the timing is very important. So when conflict happens, it need to be resolved as soon as possible. Else it will become a toxic environment, which it won't be beneficial to the workplace. So I'm a believer of, when dealing with conflict, we must set some expectation rights. The most important thing is the common goal. The goal is basically to identify the root cause of the issue and also to find a solution for it. Then of course, secondly, we should when dealing with conflict, we should be focusing on the issue and not the people.
Correct.
On the issue and not the people. Sometimes it's tricky to do, right?
Example. I got an example for this. For let's say I have a conflict. So it's the example is a house is on fire. So the first question, we should not have focusing on the question of who set up the fire, who played with fire, but instead we should focus on the question how we can put down the fire, how we can save the people trapped in the house.
Correct.
Right. Then later there will be we will have to relook into the question why. So it's where we actually identify the root cause, find a solution for it, and also to prevent it from reoccur again in future.
to not take things personal to an extent. We need to be able to look at it objectively. What's the root
Exactly.
cause, and then how do we go about solving it, and then we find a solution, and then try to solve the problem.
It's basically a common ground of what Karin mentioned, and also they should be someone that they need to be compromised. They need to compromise for it.
Correct.
That's my thought. Thank you.
Okay, I think what Casey said just now is very true. For me, I'm more to the approach of prevention is better than cure. We as a leader, we know that these are the common things that highly can happen because we are dealing with people. First thing first, we need to understand whether we have a clear vision, mission, and do we have a core value within our teams. I can say that we are lucky enough that we have our core value, which is we call it think. T stands for
Teamwork.
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 H for
Hardworking.
I for
Integrity.
N for
Nurturing.
and K
No-
for
knowledgeable.
So it's all about how people should behave.
Yep.
If everyone demonstrate the same attitude and hold on to the core value, I do believe that everything that we want to implement is going to do it smoothly. So that will be one. Always we need to always remind our team that we hold on that core value. So we can put aside all the negative thoughts, negative feelings, attitude, personality, or whatsoever. Second thing is that whether we do have a proper platform for our people to voice out. What are the things that they are expect, their satisfaction, these are the things, okay? The platform is very, very important because this is where we able to, some of our people, they are not vocal. Dia tak tahu how to express. They don't want to express. They may be shy, they malu-malu, ataupun diorang tak tahu how. But then they are good in writing. They can write because when they put in their opinions, what they think, what they feel, so when we have this kind of survey, we should able to look into how to deal with this before it become problems. Sebab apa, bila when the damage happen, you nak rectify sangat susah. When you deal with people, it's not like system kalau downtime, you boleh terus betulkan kan. Dia kata okay, downtime 5 minutes kan, macam tadi kan kita ada downtime, okay. Alright, so but then kalau people dia dah damage, hati dia dah terluka, how? It's not easy actually kan. So for me, that is very, very important. Before the damage done, you need to find, you need to understand and listen to your people first. What are the things that they are happy, what are not, So
What are the
it's
needs
sangat-sangat
and all that.
important.
I feel like a common theme across everyone's viewpoints is you need to have strong emotional intelligence.
Oh, yes.
Correct.
If you have conflict, you can resolve it. You can manage expectations, resolve it timely, and what you mentioned, have the good platform. And macam Puan Sharifah mentioned, kalau ada tergurus hati, susah lah kan.
Nurin, I nak share my personal experience
Yes,
lah.
yes.
Bila dah cakap tergores hati, because I experienced it. My previous organisation. My boss really, scold me. I'm being scolded actually. For nothing. Because the reason is that because listen to other people. Not actually bila kita dengar pada orang, by right we should ask also. Betul ke macam ni, betul ke macam tu, So bila you tiba-tiba you kena marah for nothing, kita tak buat apa salah tapi kita kena marah. So but then I tell to myself, how I actually motivate myself again. I cakap kata tak apa, I kata so this is lesson learned. I'm glad that I come across this journey. I kata I being scolded, I tahu macam mana rasa sakit, but I will not do this to my people. I will try not to do this to my people.
Break the cycle.
Yes. Sometimes orang kata, I selalu encounter a very good boss. Itu kira macam rugilah. You all tak rasakan macam tu kan. Tapi, I pernah rasa. So, it's really sakit sebenarnya.
Okay, thank you Puan Sharifah for sharing that. Ask one more question before we go into Q&A, if that's okay. I think my last question to you guys is, everyone here is a leader. We've discussed about how to create inclusive environment, what are the conflicts, what are the challenges. How do you guys then as leaders manage and create an inclusive environment for your team?
I would like to start with understanding the career aspirations of your team member. That is the closest people who work, not only for you, but it's actually for the organizations. By you understanding them better, what they actually inspired to be, this is something will help you to create a positive workplace, because to a certain extent, when you plan for their development and whatnot, not everybody wanna be at a certain level. Some people are just happy with what they are doing, and some mother who just give birth to their babies. They just want to be like settled down for the next 2 years doing the things that they are doing now. They do not want to kacau their routine. So I mean, by understanding their career aspiration, it will also help you to build, even a dedicated team lah, I would say. And the second thing, I always remember this, because empowerment is very important. As we discussed just now, I think because of the empowerment we are here. Because of the empowerment, from when we started our career, we are here now becoming a leader. So I think when our current and past bosses has created the path for us, why can't we do the same for our people? So that's what always I have in mind when it comes to creating.
That's what create,
for people.
become a good leaders lah. Actually,
Correct.
to create another leader.
And it's
Line.
okay if you telling your team, I don't know, I am
Very
currently
true,
down.
Dr. Nurul. Very true.
I
Nothing
am,
wrong with that.
I am currently in bad shape, so that they know you are leader. It's not a god. You are also vulnerable.
You're only human.
Correct. I also have an open conversation with my immediate supervisor, when he say, Doc, today I have a lot of problems, so that you mellow down. So don't bring problems to him or her now, because he's just vulnerable now. Maybe you wanna add on, Casey.
For me as a leader, basically I may have a very observed on my surrounding, so I need to be aware on this the state of my my team. So in the training, basically we have learned a phrase which is already tattooed in my mind. So it says that there is no unresourceful people. There is only people with unresourceful states. So as a leader, we need to make sure that our team member basically is at the positive state lah. They have to stay. They have to be focused. They have to be motivated. Yeah. Then they also have to be happy. So sometimes, I mean, as a leader, if in the office we observe some of our team member, they are not, not the same like as before. Maybe he feel distracted. He feel stressed or what. As a leader, we can always approach him to understand what is the challenges that he's currently facing. We as a leader, we may not able to solve the problem. Not every problem leader can solve, but at least we let them know that we are facing the challenge together.
They're not alone.
Yes.
Correct.
Another thing also, I'm also a believer in approachable leader. So it's like a open door concept.
Or no door at all.
Sekarang macam tak ada pintu. Okay, so it allows my teams to seek for my advice if they require. I'm always there for them, and the team will not feel
Actually,
alone.
I love your office. Level 5 is so
Yes,
like
we
Google
actually
kind of.
in level 5 we are actually open concept. It's
Open
actually
concept.
promote collaboration.
Yes, agree on that.
Kita orang jealous.
Betul.
Then one more thing I want to share is also on we as a leader, we need to accept the fact that each and every employee should have their own strengths and weaknesses. So for me, I will always focus on their strength. As for weaknesses, not to say I don't care, but as a leader, I will help provide guidance, mentoring, training, maybe just help them overcome the weakness. Yeah.
Thank you, Casey, for sharing that. Karin or Puan Sharifah?
Okay,
Go first,
I
okay.
go first. All right. I think for me, the most important thing is leading by example. You need to walk the talk as a leader. Okay, you need to walk the talk, meaning that whatever direction or the activities initiative done must be led by you. The team leader, the leader also have to take charge. They need to be accountable, They cannot cakap kata, okay, if problem happen, is blame other person. Blame department lain, It shouldn't be that way. Because you are part of the team. Walaupun you are not really the owner of the project, for example, I'm talking about projects, but we are part of the team. So we have to take the lead. We also have to take the accountability when things happen. When you talk about you want to have a teamwork, you have to demonstrate that kind of teamwork. Okay, not only to your team but also across the division, across the department. You need to show that kind of spirit. Okay, and then the next thing is that for me, like example that what I practice in my department is that if let's say we do have projects, I will get all my managers and the respective person to be in the team. Why? Because that I would like everyone actually to throw out their ideas. Okay, to throw out their ideas, they can also. I love to see the debate between them. The A person akan cakap macam ni, the B person akan cakap macam ni. Then at the end of the day, we able to produce a very good suggestion, a very good projects. That covers all angles. Because for example, like we in business, that of course we want to bring in business, but at the same time we also have to maintain to have a good asset quality. That kind of debate also happen. So for me, when you have a project, you need to get everyone in, because one, satu ialah we want that idea to come out. Yang kedua also, we will train our team actually to think. They need to think. They need to think outside the box. We need to see also how people see things differently. So that's how we can able to create a very good proposal. So that will be my suggestion.
Okay, thank you, Sharifah. Karen, maybe you'd like to give your thoughts before we go into Q&A?
Sure. For myself, I think active listening. Active listening is a skill set. In fact, I'm a very impatient person. I'm practicing and telling myself I have to learn how to active listening to, especially my team members, because at a certain point we want to get things done fast or get things done as per what we want to, because in business we need to drive numbers especially. So there are many things that you have to act fast in order to catch up the pace of our expectation from our external stakeholders like banks and whatnot. So we have to be align the expectations from internal and also external parties. So what I need to tell is, I think active listening is one of the skill set which you have to actively listen to the team members, how things can be done better, not only my way, maybe my way, only my way, one way, but from different team members, it could have many ways. So I think listening from different people and different age group, perhaps experience, background, they could provide different ideas, different thoughts. So by listening to that, we are actually open to ideas and open to alternatives of solutions. So that actually help to create different outcome and fantastic result, like what Casey mentioned earlier.
Powerful word.
Yes,
I guess that echoes what Sharifah mentioned also, like let the team kind of diversify their train of thoughts while allowing them to speak well, because we're doing
Correct. I think sharing the brain is much more important than a person's brain rather than everyone's chip in together.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Karen,
Sure.
for sharing that. So let's move on to the Q&As.
Oh, we have so many questions.
Yes.
Oh my god.
The first question is question from Putra. Was wondering what metrics or indicators do you use to assess inclusivity within your organization?
I think quick one, from people perspective, we have launched our employee engagement survey every 2 years. I think this year we, following up from the EES result, we actually done an impact survey. So just make sure that what has been planned has been conducted as what it's supposed to be and supposed to have an impact lah. Quick one, I think other than that, we also looking at two important line also in terms of the profitability, because highly engaged employees will result to high productivity. And I think the last one is we're looking at attrition.
Yes.
Yes, so that is the end game, whatever that you are doing, at the end of the day, people stay or people leave and things like that will also cause most, from what happened in organizations.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Dr. Nurul, for that. Let's move on to another question. This one from SP Tan. How can we support employees who feel that are being treated unfairly or experiencing negative behavior from their supervisors, ensuring a respectful and supportive work environment?
Okay,
I think this is much more on what I share my experience before, right? I think, it depends to the individual. So because if let's say you are people that can be said that highly motivate and you know how to motivate yourself, it much more easier. But there are people also would like a support, a support. So that's where the leader have to demonstrate openness. They have to be open. They, whenever your staff tell you, boss, I nak jumpa you sekejap, you don't tell, I tak sempat, Yes, you can, but now I quite busy, but I will let you know bila. So bila you cakap, bila you have that kind of conversation, don't forget, to call them, to talk to them. So I think the most important thing ialah kita kena be open. We need to be open to listen. Maybe the crisis is because diri dia sendiri, or maybe because of others, or maybe because of you. Because of the boss. So we need to be open. So kita tak boleh nak cakap kata, okay, I want only to hear a good things, I don't want to hear bad things. Okay, after listening to them, what next? Definitely, once they, for example, I give example, katakan I bergaduh dengan Karin lah, then I tell Dr. Nurul, kata, ni Karin suka cakap, tak nak buat kerja curi tulang, whatever. So I ni kerja banyak, dia kerja pergi shopping saja. For example, kan? So then when I tell this to Dr. Nurul, what Dr. Nurul next action? So, Dr. Nurul have to check whether betul atau tidak this thing happen, And maybe you need to have that open conversation between these two. Kan? Between these two. Kena ada face to face, okay? And Karin also need to be open also to accept. Kalau benda tu betul and these are the wrong things, sama ada you want to call both of them to come in or only individually is up to you. But the next thing what the staff would like to hear is apa dia punya solution. Is there any improvement or not? So sebab kalau you didn't take action, our staff won't trust us. They won't talk to us. So that sangat-sangat important lah.
I think from the HR standpoint, I think there are various ways that you can actually address this. Of course, macam Puan Sharifah cakap tadi, you can actually speak immediately to your immediate supervisors because this is the person that cause you feel uncomfortable. You can mention. But there's a way of managing this lah. Janganlah you pun sama marah, dia pun marah kan. And then secondly, if things haven't changed, you can speak to the boss of the boss. So I would say probably the head of departments or heads of divisions. But if things have not changed, there will be another channel that you can speak to HR. I think we are more than happy to facilitate this, but I think most of the time kita akan minta you try to settle between you first lah. Ultimately, there are also channel that you can, a higher channel that I would advise you later if you really encounter this. But I would not advise that lah.
Maybe before to have this thing happen, treat the way you want to be treated. Yes. So to minimize that, if you are respecting people and then found the root cause, why is it happening as such? Perhaps that your own way of communicating, is it not understanding overly, like cucuk hati or whatsoever. Then at the same time, the other person also need to know, what have they done before this, like open to
Apapun
others.
kita kena ingat, kita ni manusia biasa, bos pun manusia biasa juga. Ya, mereka pun kadang-kadang ada masalah ya.
I also want to chip in something. Sometimes the mutual respect needs to be there.
Betul.
Right.
Betul.
We as a staff, basically we need to maintain a good relationship with our superior,
Betul.
with our peer, and also to the subordinate, if any.
Betul.
Right, thank you everyone for your thoughts. We have time for one more question. Okay, question from Shah. Okay, what strategies can be employed to create safe spaces for open dialogue about inclusivity?
I always want to come from here. Macam we coined the word, but this is something that we need to catch up also lah. Understanding psychological safety is very important, especially when you are actually at leadership role, because by only understanding this, you can actually impart this knowledge to your people. Of course, now informations are available anywhere, but at the same time, I think we need to put effort to learn lah. Create a safe space ni ada macam-macam. Ada setengah bosses or leaders, they will bring their people out and have a conversations outside of the working hours. But janganlah you bawa dia keluar, you cerita lagi kerja working hours. Of course kalau I pun tak join lah lunch tu or dinner tu kan. So there should be a casual kind of catch up to understand their struggles outside of the working hours lah. Yeah.
I think that's a really good point. I guess then kind of that ends the Q&A session. So before we end the podcast, maybe everyone can kind of give one key takeaway that you want to share with the audience before we end the podcast.
It's okay to be vulnerable because we are just human beings. We are not robot. And I think give and take is very important as a human being. We are not perfect. Our people also not perfect. So this is where we come to a common ground that we need to learn from each other. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Nurul.
All right.
I personally, I will promote recognition. So let's say it's a staff that have been doing very well, they exceeded the expectation. It should be rewarded in some form of recognition. So if a bonus, bagus. Kalau career also okay. But put that aside. Sometimes a simple gesture like a pat to the shoulder and tell them, hey, good job.
And for you, don't forget to pat yourself
Yes.
also
Good job.
for taking care of your people. Yeah.
I mean, the staff will feel valued with
Correct.
the effort they have contributed.
Thank you for that.
For me, very simple. Happy people, happy workplace. And how to be happy, try to be open-minded, to accept and to respect what others' thoughts, opinion, and value each other. So when you have that kind of thoughts, then you will be happy. And once happy, the whole environment, the whole workplace will be happy as well. Then you will be productive and fantastic results again.
Fantastic.
Results.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, I nak share one quote actually from Vern Myers and the inclusion strategies. Okay, so this is what she said. Diversity is being invited to the dance. Inclusion is being asked to dance. Belonging is being able to dance how we want. And equity is having a turn picking the DJ. So I think it covers all. I think we need our people. We need to have that diversity. We need to have the equity. We need to have that inclusion workplace, in order to have a very good teamwork. Okay, that's for me.
Thank you so much, Sharifah. And with that, that's it. We've wrapped up the podcast for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Finally. So thank you, everyone, so much for joining us throughout all the episodes. Hopefully, we can work together for more episodes in the future.
Inshallah. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.